Hello, my name is Darian Goodman, and today we will be looking to see if IQ tests are valid measures of intelligence. Now, we start with the G factor. The G factor is simply a measure of general intelligence that pertains to anything outside of schooling. And in Nathan Brody's Intelligent Schooling and Society, he states that any outside knowledge was bad for any parameters related to IQ testing. There are factors that affect these, such as socioeconomic factors, including knowledge, occupations, education, and parental IQ. Parental IQ simply meaning IQ that it's displayed when growing up with your parents. And changing these factors, Brody suggested we would be able to increase intelligence through the G factor. And this looks like IQ related tasks that can be done through school or through everyday activities. Now, in science, there is debate amongst or about what is the proper measure of the G factor. And in a paper or a study done by Feroz and Sadruddin, they found that modern tests were unable to determine true IQ, and they used fMRIs and EEGs to scan the brain while people did IQ tests. And so what they found was that certain parts of the brain need no prehand knowledge to do well during IQ testing, meaning that on some level the G factor was indeed measured, meaning IQ tested were a proper measure of general intelligence. Now, that being said, there is another debate amongst scientists as to whether the IQ test in general reflect creativity within the parameters. And in a paper done by Kaufman, Why Creativity Isn't an IQ Test Anymore, he seems to suggest that IQ and creativity are two different things. And he uses the Cattell-Horn-Perel model, or the CHC model, which is the most frequently used non-G factor IQ test. He uses this as a platform as to which stating that IQ tests are not in fact an accurate measure of creativity. And in a modern look at IQ testing, Kaufman states that divergent and convergent thinking are both used in modern IQ testing that include the G factor, but they are biased towards divergent thinking, suggesting that there is a stagnation in data from the 1950s that needs to be updated through more IQ testing when testing IQ. Now, there are some solutions to creativity not being an IQ test. Kaufman suggests that higher IQ tests do not mean higher happiness or creativity. In his paper, Creativity as a Stepping Stone Towards a Brighter Future, he suggests that there is a large gap in results from IQ testing in socioeconomic groups. That people shouldn't let IQ tests dissuade them from leading creative lives. When we do creative things, it helps to increase creativity and it helps people to look at the bigger picture. That is one way in which we could increase creativity in our daily lives. Another one suggested by Kaufman includes representing underrepresented groups in decision making. Now, he suggests that while IQ testing results are marginal at best, white and Asian Americans receive higher IQ scores, and including underrepresented groups can help to even this inequality out. Now, there are some effects to these suggested solutions, such as the increase in creativity in our daily lives would decrease violence. They would in the socioeconomic changes would increase test scores by including underrepresented groups. We can help increase this creativity and happiness within communities itself, and they would increase test scores and help absolve the middle class and lessen the widening gap between the lower, middle, and higher classes. Kaufman suggests all of these changes in creativity as a stepping stone as well. Now, painting can help to increase our daily activities in or help increase creativity and happiness in our daily lives. If we're more, it promotes more open and flowing thinking and increases happiness in communities, as suggested by Ivan Stoljelovic in his study. in his study done. I suggest painting at least once a week as a reflection on the week to help implement these changes.